Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever we are. Welcome to On Passive Singapore, Malaysia Global. And this, our passion is formed in November 2020. And our first group, our first public webinar was on 30th September 2021. And we are so privileged to be under the mentorship of Dr. Bill Williams. We meet every Thursday, and the mission of our passion is to ignite passion for humanity, to nurture mindset and leadership for passion and for all bless, to form passion groups in the longer run for good causes. We strongly believe on passive is a divine movement of God. And we thank Mr. Ash Mufareh. We pray for him for answering God's call to run this humanitarian movement to make the world a better place. So welcome tonight. Tonight, our speaker is Lerato. How do you pronounce your family name? Lerato
Shadare.
Shadare. Lerato Shadare, and we will introduce her a little bit more before she come on. And now I call upon Kumaran to give us the intro. Wow, welcome back. And tonight we have the original singer of what you have just heard, the song, the On-Passive song, In It to Win It. Many good adjectives to it. Tonight, our speaker is Lerato Shadare, and what a privilege for us to have her with us tonight. The little I know about her: gospel artist, choir director, vocal coach, theater performer, wife, and a mother. Tonight, we will have her to share more about herself with us, her passion, and her passion for On Passive. But she's free to share anything with us, whatever that's in her heart tonight. So all over to you, Lerato. Welcome and thank you for coming, for
Thank you
gracing
for the
our
thank
webinar.
you. Thank you. I'm the one that feels really privileged to be here, to be invited here. And I always say that, when we come together powerfully as beautiful beings that we are, and among greatness. I'm among greatness, so I'm really humbled to be here. Um, I don't know how we're gonna do this, if we're gonna do question and answer, or if you just want me to talk at one go, or if we're gonna stop and discuss. Just tell me how you want to do the format, or you just want me to go through the topics one by one. Can you just elaborate for me on that, on how you want us to do it? Mabel? Mabel?
I was
Yeah.
muted. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe you
okay.
can tell us a little bit about yourself, and then
Mm-hmm.
what is passion to you before you touch on passion for on passive, but
On passive.
generally, what
All
is
right.
your passion?
Okay. I mean, this topic for me, I was just turning around and I was asking myself many questions when you said I should speak about my passion. First of all, I want to introduce myself. I'm Lerato Shadare, and I'm a singer, songwriter, and I teach music. I teach vocals, basically. I'm a vocal coach. I do stage. I did theater, a lot of theater across Europe, different tours doing gospel music as well, and different things. I've tackled so many things in my field, basically. So I would say that I'm very open-minded when it comes to music, because I think for me the main thing is passion, right? When you say passion, is passion, and also honesty and authenticity when it comes to music, because it speaks to the soul. So the more authentic you are, the more you're able to pull in other people and feed them something great for their soul as well. So I love that. And my passion, oh my God. So my passion for me is life. I'm really passionate about life and how to live it well. I think it's one thing that when I was very young, I was very curious about life and life forms and everything. And I was always curious about just creation. I was very curious about that, because I knew that I'm not separate from everything. I will gaze at the stars and feel connection. I will go to the sea and feel connected. I will look at the animals and feel connected. I would look at everything around me, the nature. I will go to spaces, and when I get there, I will see the vastness of the spaces, and I will feel tiny, but also I would feel so connected. I will feel the communication. There will be something communicating back to me and saying, we are together, right? So I'm really, really passionate about life, and I always wanted to find out, how do we live our life well, right? And this is the question that I've toiled with. I mean, as I'm having more life experience, I'm also toiling with it, because through life you go through phases of life where, you don't perceive things when you're like in your 30s. You don't perceive things as when you were in your 20s. And there's a certain kind of wisdom that also comes with, or how do I say, experience, and kind of wisdom that comes with also being here long enough and going through the life experience long enough, right? And so the question of just the splendor of life and how to live it well, not to I don't want to say not to, but we are born in certain cultures, we are born in certain structures that are already there for us, and don't many people don't question if they're actually living their life and the experience that they're having of life is to their fullest, right? Not everybody questions, am I actually living my life to the fullest, like the potential of what I could be or what I want to become? Am I experiencing it, or am I just existing through it, through the confines of my culture or confines of my belief system? So I always question things, even my belief system. I was like, I'm very curious about life, and there's certain things that I question, that I said, through this belief system, am I actually experiencing, is my life experience enhanced or limited, right? So I've always questioned life. So my passion is life, and finding out more about life, living it well, and living it to the greatest a potential that I could, while I'm here, while I'm having this life experience right now. So life has always been that thing for me, that I need to know more. I want more out of it. It's not, I don't want to wake up and just chase, but there's not really something that there's nothing that is giving me that wow moment, right? So I don't want to just exist through life. I actually want to enjoy, savor every moment. If I'm sitting down and eating, I want to enjoy my food. I want to go through the different textures of the food, or the taste of the food, actually experience the food, and not just dash through it, And unfortunately, or fortunately, I mean, there's yin and yang in this thing, or the good side or the bad side. We have fast food, and people, we have learned to do everything fast. Not many people sit down and actually experience their food, right? Because we're in this culture of fast, 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 fast. So most of the time we're just going. We don't savor moments. We don't sit down and enjoy the colors of the food, enjoy the colors around you, enjoy the people that you're eating with, enjoy, savor those moments, and actually get that beautiful moment that just, so I love life. And I'm passionate about life, and I'm also passionate about protecting it, right? Especially yeah, I'm passionate about protecting life, about protecting the environment, about protecting the life forms, and cherishing what is there, and making sure that every one of them has a chance to flourish, right? If it's a plant, I don't have a green thumb. My mom is good with planting, and the love of plants also comes from my mom. When I look at everything flourishing, I love that there's life form expressing itself, and there's the space for it to express itself. And also the love of animals, I got it from my mom. My mom loves animals. We would be watching animal channels, and she'd be looking at cheetah. She's like, oh my God, it's so beautiful, look at it. So that love of animals, I love lions, I love eagles. So I'll be looking at the graceful flight of an eagle. I'm like, wow, it's so effortless, but so graceful, and also so calculated. And so when it soars, that beauty of an eagle for me is just, it's a wow for me. I could sit there and just watch videos of eagles and watch how they hunt and everything, and just enjoy it, right? I love lions. I love the grace, the power, and also just seeing it. Just, oh, so every time when I go home, I try to go to nature. I try to go to see animals in there's so much happening with the animals now, in some protected environments where they want to preserve the species. I support those homes where they are actually doing something good for our animals. I go there, I teach my children about our environment. I teach them about everything, that everything is important and it has a purpose. Every life form is important and it has a purpose, right? And it's our duty to protect it and make sure that it flourishes, right? Some of us, are not maybe inclined in nature, but just simple things like not littering, making sure that you keep your environment clean because you're not the only one that is there. So if you litter, you're disturbing a life of maybe ants or whatever. So make sure you don't litter. Keep the environment clean so that the other species that are living in that environment can also thrive. So I teach my children about littering. You don't litter, right? You take care of the space around you, making sure that everyone that comes behind you also benefits 100% from that environment, not only you. So small things that we do, changes that we do, small changes that we do, just being conscious that life, there's so much happening around us, and we always have to make it better, or making sure that everything that is around us flourishes. So I'm really, really passionate about that. And of course, life, when we say life, is a very broad topic. We can talk about our spiritual life, we can talk about our mental health, and there's so many things that we can go into. But life as it is, for me, I question a lot of things, and I'm curious about life. And right now, at the stage of where I am now in my life, I'm always the main question that I asked about to my like I ask myself is, am I living my life well and purposefully? Am I living my life well and purposefully? Because I don't want to be at a moment when I'm at the end of my life, then there are regrets. I wish I could have, I wish I could have, I wish I don't want to do that. So I ask myself, am I actually living purposefully, and am I enjoying my life? Am I enjoying small moments, those moments when you wake up and breath, you take a deep breath, and the breath fills your lungs. I don't take it for granted. I'm very grateful that I can do that and breathe, and all these things. Maybe I'm too weird, but that's how I am. That's how I am. I question everything. I'm grateful for everything. So that's my passion.
Yeah, Loretto, you are gifted with a voice. You're a singer. When did you begin to know that you will be a singer?
Oh,
That's one of your passion too, right?
it is one of my passion too, but
Yeah, yeah.
music is a very big part of my culture, and it
Mm,
was also a very, very big part of my family, because my whole family sings. My sister has a master's in jazz music. So, and my dad also played piano, but back then, if you know the history of South Africa, we had apartheid, so he couldn't really do anything about his musical career apart from teaching choirs, also and coaching people. But
mm.
he went more into the he was a clerk. He was working at the hospital as a bookkeeper. So, but my whole family is very musical, right? So, and also the history of our country, South Africa, we are a very musical country. Everything, like all the ethnic groups in South Africa, there's harmonies. There's we live through music, we breathe through music. So music has always been a part of me. I've never been in a moment where I thought there's no music. Music is part of my life, right? So, but I've never thought that I would professionally do music, because I always wanted to do, I aspired to do other things. I wanted to, at some point I thought, I love stars, I want to be an astronaut, but I was not good at math. My math sucked. My math sucked. I was like, I guess I'm gonna have to let go of that. So I also loved. I wanted to be a psychologist, but I thought, I'm an empath. So if I go deep into things, I'm a thinker. I can go with something, just cycling through it. I'm like, I don't think that's the best thing for me. No, I don't want to do that. And then music, actually, I stumbled in the professional sense of saying music. I stumbled into it after I wanted to register to do nature conservation. I'm like I told you, I'm passionate about nature. I'm passionate about animals. So I wanted to go into the nature conservation to work with big game animals and protecting them, and learning about them and everything, and how best they can survive, and how can we can live peaceably with everyone. So when I went there, the course was full, and
Mm.
music has always been something that I loved. And so I was like, okay, fine, let me go into music. And then in that time, then I started going really into the entertainment business, signing with different record labels, working with different record labels, and then it became a thing. And then, of course, I found myself on stage. I loved stage and everything, but it's something that found me. I want to say music actually found me. In the midst of music, music actually found me. But my family has always been musical. I've always grown around music. It's a form of expression, even in my country. Everything is music in South Africa. So, yeah. So that's how it came about.
Okay, wow. Music found you.
Yes.
Uh, now, so I'm also an animal lover, you know, and
Yeah.
we'll see how we'll blend in. And regarding passion, you have shared about your passion, what moves you, what drives you, living life to the fullest, etc. What is your passion for All Bless? How do you have any passion for All Bless using the mission of On Passive to reach out? Can you
I'm
say
passionate about
something
on
about
passive in general. I'm just in love with
exactly?
everything.
I know.
I'm just in love with everything. Yeah. So, I mean, Oh Bless is the heart of On Passive. Giving and thinking about anybody apart from ourselves. It's a mission in itself because not many people get to that point where they don't only think about themselves, right? So just Oh Bless and taking ourselves out of the equation and saying, guys, there's some more people to reach. There's so many other more people to pull up, right? Because I think humanity needs the needs this. It needs minds that think of good, the common good, and good for all, right? Because sometimes, as a singer, you get into projects where you're doing some charity things, but I've been behind the scenes, and you will see that some charity things or things that are saying, oh, we're giving, at the end of the day, it's not really 100% only about giving. Some people build their this image of giving, but there's other things that are involved in that.
Mm,
So yeah, but what I love about On Passive and the mentality is giving without, there's no border. There's no, I'm giving because I want to be famous. I'm giving because I want to be seen. I'm giving because, no, it's just giving. It's about pulling, genuinely caring about the next person and wanting the best for them. That's what it should be about. Making sure that, okay, I'm eating, somebody else is not eating. The goal is to feed them, not to show the whole world that I'm feeding them, right?
mm,
If somebody doesn't have a plate of food, if there's no clean water, guys, there's no clean water. It's our responsibility to make sure that everybody has access to clean water. It's common sense. How am I sitting here drinking water and somebody's there and I have the ability or the or the tools to make it better for them? Why am I not making it better? It doesn't make sense. All right. It's all that connection. It's about connection, being connected to ourselves and knowing that as ourselves, we are not connected from everything else. So if another part of me is not thriving, then I'm not thriving. I'm failing. If somebody else is not, if I'm part of all and another part of myself is not doing well, then it's that. I look at it as a body, right? If I'm only concentrated about this only half part of my body, and then I'm neglecting my feet, I'm neglecting my knees, I'm neglecting everything else, then my body is not thriving. Simply, it's not thriving, right? So we cannot just concentrate on one part of our body and neglect the rest and think that we are healthy or we are whole. We are not whole. So that's how I look at humanity. That's how I look at everything. I'm like, if one part is thriving, my eye is thriving, and my feet is not thriving, then I'm not thriving. I neglected something that I have to make a shift. I have to take care of the part that is not thriving and make sure that it thrives so that the whole can thrive, right? So as humanity, I believe that when only one people are successful, only a small percentage, they always talk about the 1%. And I'm like, who's the 1%, right?
mm,
Who's the 1%, and why are they the only one who are entitled or who deserve to thrive when everybody else is in misery? Why? How is that possible? How is that possible? No, it's not. And you realize that there is more than enough. There's more than enough resources. There's more than enough of everything in this world. So there's no reason why there's no access to basic things like water. For me, I get really frustrated. And like I told you,
mm,
I didn't want to be a psychologist because I'm a sponge. I get very emotional because I'm thinking, how am I sitting here and there's no water there? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. So I love our all blessed, because when we are like minds and we are sitting and we are bothered, all of us are bothered when other parts are not doing well, then we are bound to do something together and to make sure that we are all thriving. I'm not saying that, oh, bless is going to solve the whole problems of humanity. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that the percentage that will set that and the intention behind it will reach further because it's inspired by love and it's inspired by people who actually genuinely care. If you genuinely care, then it goes further than somebody who wants to do, you understand what I mean? So the
Yeah.
energy behind it will drive it further because our heart is in it. And the people that are doing the spirit behind it matters, and the spirit of love is the spirit that will drive it and make sure that it reaches where it needs to go, right? So we're
Yes.
not going to solve the whole problem of the world and blah blah, no, but whatever that the impact that we will have in areas where we are, it will be huge because the spirit behind it will be love and genuine care. Yeah.
Yes. In the eyes of God, humanity is one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's one humanity,
Yeah.
one flesh. So, and you are so right to know that if one part of our body or one group of humanity is not doing well, we should feel for them, feel hurt, and we're not fulfilled
Yeah.
yet. I'm going to slowly lead you and see how we can know more of your mind. This group is about igniting passion.
Yeah.
Passion is about igniting passion,
Passion. Yeah.
and we believe that when we share passion, we ignite each other's passion. All of us have a passion, but over the years, some have become dormant or
Yeah.
think that their passion can never be fulfilled.
Mm.
But with on passive, thanks to Mr. Ash Mufara, we really can, with time and financial ability at our hand, we can really begin to dream and really go after our passion,
Mm.
as God leads. Can we know? I know you are very much already a successful person, um, but can we look a little bit further with on passive in 3 to 5 years' time? What do you think you will be doing or will be?
Hmm.
Can I stretch you a little bit in three to
Yeah,
five
yeah. I
years?
mean, of course,
Because
we like
by then, on passive will be maturing.
yeah, yeah. You hit a very, very important point to say dreaming bigger. And actually, you said that all passion is about igniting the passion and remembering to dream. Because of course, a lot of us, a lot of people forget to dream. If you're striving through life and just trying to survive, there's no time to dream. There's no time to hope because you're trying to survive, right? And so with on passive, the door is opening bigger to our imagination of what we can actually reach, and the door of opportunity, the door of life, basically expressing yourself well, because then you won't have I mean, most of us will have financial stability, which is, I think, one of the things that stops people from dreaming. Because if you have to eat and you're chasing food and you're in that vicious
Mm,
cycle of trying to survive, you're not thinking of the big picture, right? So when we now have the tools to dream bigger and you don't have anything limiting you, then it's your responsibility to expand your consciousness and expand your mind and reach those areas that were closed, because some people are afraid to dream because they're afraid to be disappointed, they're afraid to be, there's so many things that stops people from dreaming. But for me personally, the challenge, because Mr. Ash, every most of the webinars in the former years, he always talked about dreaming bigger. He said, dream big. If you think you're dreaming, you're not dreaming yet. Dream bigger, dream bigger, dream bigger. A lot of people were afraid to do that because, I mean, of course, they went through disappointments in life. They
mm,
went through challenges. They're trying to survive and seeing how am I going to survive the next day. But then with on passive, as you rightfully said, that when certain things are taken out of the equation, now it's our responsibility to expand our consciousness and reach those areas of ourselves that we closed, to say, okay, who am I really in terms of my existence in this life, in this, how do I want to appear? What is it that I still want to reach? What are my
mm,
dreams? What do I still, which areas? Open those areas up and then go within yourself and find those areas and reawaken them, resuscitate them, right? So it's all our responsibility, but that comes through self-knowledge and consciousness, being conscious, right? So you have to expand your consciousness and go into those areas and talk to yourself, the self-talk and everything. And also it has to do with mindset.
Mm.
What is that thing that you mostly dwell in, that the general frequency, your frequency, where do you generally dwell in? Are you dwelling in a realm of possibility or impossibility? Are you dwelling, what do you think is achievable? What do you think is doable? What are those limits that you set for yourself? All those things is now questions that you have to pose it yourself and start self-knowledge, because we cannot reach anywhere unless we know ourselves, right? You know, knowing yourself, know thyself. You have to know ourselves, ourselves, confront areas where we are fearful, bash those fears, find out where those fears are coming from, because fear is also another thing that doesn't allow people to reach their potential, their full potential, right? Bash those fears, realize that there's no growth without obstacles. So whether you're afraid, you just have to go through it, afraid or not, go through it, and then you will break that barrier. So confront yourself and check those areas in your mind, in your perspective, in everything around you that is doesn't allow you to grow, right? So for me, 3 years, 5 years from now, I mean, I'm working on myself. I'm working on my consciousness. What am I aware of? Where do I dwell spiritually? Where am I mentally? Right? Because I can only fool my when the money is there, money is not going to solve anything if I'm not ready mentally or
Mm.
spiritually. All right. I'll be going back to the same cycles. I'll be going back to the same cycles in another version, because then I haven't shifted myself. So I'll be struggling with the same things but differently. I'll be I always I always make a joke. It's like, okay, so if you were crying on a bike, you will still cry, but now in a Ferrari, but you're still crying.
Wow.
The only thing you got is a Ferrari, but you're still crying in the Ferrari. The Ferrari didn't change anything. The fact that you have more money, you're still crying because your mind hasn't changed. Your spiritual man hasn't changed, right? So we work on ourselves, we work on our mind, we work on us, we self-knowledge, reach those places within yourselves, like, okay, who am I? How do I want to appear for this life? What do I want to contribute? How do I want to live? Like I said when I started, that my passion is enjoying, savoring every moment of life, the colors, everything, and savoring those moments, and knowing that there's a purpose and meaning for everything. And so if I do that for myself, even when the money comes in and I have now this ability, or the tools to reach further, to do those things, like I love traveling, right? To reach those places that I dreamt of, then I go to those places and I become a change in that environment. I come there to provide a solution. I go to a place where there's no water, enjoy the environment, but make sure that when we live there, there are wells that are being built, right? And also our presence alone, when you know yourself, you're like, I always said, we are an altar, right? You carry a presence within you. So when you work on yourself, your energy, your vibration is different, right? So your awareness is different. So you will impact people just by being there. The love that flows through you, everything that flows through you will also impact the people. The people, it won't be about only what you give, but your presence. Your presence will leave a mark in those people's life, right? You asked me about blessing. I said that if the spirit behind it is love, if I give with love, is different than when I give with another motive. So if I go to an environment and I'm that altar of life and light, by the time I leave that environment, people's life will be impacted much more than what I gave them. They're just the sense of the whole being. Something will shift, because love does so many things. It shifts so many things, right? So we will be giving more than the things. We will be giving also of our energy and everything, and it's different, right? The
Mm.
energy of love is different. So for me, 3 years, 5 years from now, I'm working on myself. I'm working on I told you that I question everything about my life. I question about my actions, everything. So I'm working on myself so that when I extend myself to the universe, or to the life that there is right now, then it's there's an impact that is just beyond me giving money or whatever. There's that impact. I bring something of value to everybody's life that I meet. If it's a smile, if it's whatever, if it's a hug, I don't care. But when I leave that environment, there should be something that is left behind. And for me, the spirit that drives me is love. So that's that.
Wow. Basically, is touching lives everywhere you go.
Yes,
Touching
yes,
lives everywhere you go.
yes.
You are a blessing everywhere you go, waiting to
Amen. Thank you.
explode. Um, you know, on or passion, we have this one more kind of a long term goal is that when people come together to share their passion, there would be hopefully passion groups
Mm,
naturally
mm,
generated. For
mm,
example, groups like food for the preservation, food for the hungry, clean water for clean water projects, feeding the poor, home for the homeless, care for the aged and needy, love for the orphans,
mm,
hope for the
mm,
refugees, safe haven for the animals, strays, and wildlife. And that's the last one is for me. I have a passion for stray cats, stray dogs,
oh,
and also wildlife. So that's why when you say you love animals, So for me, in 3 to 5 years time, last week I was sharing, I hope that I will have apples enough to start begin to have safe haven for the stray animals
mm,
in
mm,
Singapore, Malaysia, and
mm,
slowly we see where
mm.
the Lord leads. So, Loretta, what would be one of the passion groups or two passion groups that you will be interested in?
Um, I love the elderly, I love the elderly, and
Ah,
that's also one of the passion. My mom, when I was growing up, she was she's very, I'm a believer, so I believe in God, and we go to church. And my mom was really concerned about the elderly community and how they, just because people think that when you get to a certain point of your life, then life stops. And my mom always said that the elderly community still has so much to give. When you don't have the elderly in the community, you lose culture, you lose the history, you lose so many things. And some of those things, especially in our countries, they get passed through generations. It's not something that you find in the book. The wisdom is not found in the book. The wisdom is found in the people, because the people themselves are the encyclopedias. They tell you about the history of the country. They tell you about the history of your origin, so that you're grounded and rooted. And they also give you certain qualities of how to be a decent human being. When you have an elderly people, they teach you certain things like compassion, or respect, different things, right? So it always mattered to me that the elderly people are just not thrown into homes. I mean, there are many things that can do that. Some of them can be taken care of at home or whatever, but there should be programs where the elderly are able to be integrated
mm,
into society. Maybe integrate with the youth will reap something from them. So I really care about that. And one of my biggest passions was to have a place like that for the elderly people, where some of them, maybe they will reside there if they don't have families to take care of them, but some of them will come during the day, do different activities. Some of them, I always say that if you're a pianist when you're 20, you don't stop when you are 90. You're still a great maestro, right? And you can also pass on that knowledge to the coming generation, teach them about the art. If you know something, a skill, you can, or the wisdom that comes with the skill, you can pass it down to the younger generation. So there'll be the interaction between the older generations and the younger generations, so that we can preserve the certain qualities, certain things, and our history. So many things can be preserved if we keep the generations, that flow between generations open. And so
yeah.
that for me is a passion to say I want to have something, or I want to go back home and have a place where the elderly can come during the day, like recreational. They can come, they can interact with one another, so that they don't lose, they can still have something to live for, that passion, or have something to look forward to every day, activities, exercise, whatever, so that they will know that they count and they still matter. We love them. I love the elderly. I think they're amazing. Mainly
Mm.
because they don't have a filter, they just say what they think. So I love that. I love that so much. I love interacting with the elderly. I love their minds. I love the elderly. So I would love to have a place where they're protected. I would love to have a place where they can express themselves, where they can share their knowledge and their wisdom, and so that there's no big generational gap, or there are gaps in things that matter basically in our societies. So I would love to have that.
Yeah, I think what come to my mind when you say about elderly, experience, you go through life encountering experiences,
Experiences,
and it's
yeah.
actually life experiences versus
Yeah.
theory and books.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
sometimes there's a lot of difference, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of gems, a lot of wisdom that can flow out through elderly. They
Yeah.
see more. They see
Yeah.
more than what
Yeah.
we see, you
Yeah.
know. And there's a saying, what, they take salt. What is it? They take salt more than we take
Yeah.
rice,
Yeah.
something like that, you know. So life experience is actually one very precious encounter which the elderly can share with us.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, some of the younger ones, you know, don't have that mindset like what you have so wonderfully, you know, to treasure the elderly. We are doing very good time. Maybe we can spend a few minutes for us to ask you, in a way, if it is a final question, uh, it's about quality, mindset, and quality. And I know you are a motivational speaker too. Okay, what do you think would be one virtue or one quality that one should have to effectively contribute to All Bless, to contribute to making the world a better place? What will be one quality that we should have, and you have it, and it will impact All Bless, impact what we want to do to make the world a better
Hmm.
place?
That's a
It,
very interesting
it
question. I
could.
want to go in
I
so
know.
many different
I
directions.
know. I didn't, you know, pose you that question earlier. But for example,
No.
you can say love. So
Yeah, of
something
course. I'm thinking
along
about
that line,
compassion.
you know.
I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I mean, I can go in so many
Yeah.
different areas there. Like my mind is like, "Ba-da-da-da." So
You know,
I
but
think
the most
compassion.
difficult thing is just one. So it will
I think
draw the
compassion, compassion,
wow.
compassion, compassion. Because if you don't have compassion, or if you don't think beyond only you, ooh, it's gonna be very difficult to be impactful when you think about blessing somebody else. Blessing somebody else has to, it means that you have to go outside yourself. So meaning that you have to see somebody before you see, you have to have that eye that sees over you, that sees over, so you will prefer somebody else. So compassion, because then it will draw, yeah, I will say compassion. I can't expatiate on that because I have so much to say about that, but I think compassion is one of the qualities that will help us to reach another person. If I'm compassionate, if I can look at you and see your struggle and acknowledge it and sit with you and say, okay, I'm here, I'm gonna cry with you, but I'm here also to offer a solution. I can see this. There's nothing like somebody when you're crying, going through something, and somebody can actually acknowledge your pain and say, yes, I see it. You're not imagining it. Yes, I see it. The struggle is real. But also, as I see it, I'm here also to help to make the load lighter. So that's compassion. You go beyond yourself to feel somebody else's pain, to be with somebody and actually connect with them and say what they're going through. You can see it and it's real. So compassion. That's for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love is powerful, but
Yeah.
actually even compassion
Compassion. Yeah.
comes forth love. So I
Yeah.
mean it's beyond love. So it's one
Yeah.
of the fruits of love, but
Yeah.
compassion is the ability to feel, you know,
Yeah. To the ability to
the
feel
others.
somebody else. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. I do not know if we open up to the floor now, whether there will
Yes.
be other people can ask you other questions.
Yes.
So
Gladly.
thank you. We are in very good time. It's 10 o'clock. Thank you for sharing so much with us. I just want to open up to the floor, and John is leaving, so I would let him be the one to speak, and then for Dr. Bill Williams, as usual, to comment, and for others to ask you questions or to comment what you have shared tonight. John?
Yes, thank you, Mabel. Thank you, Lerato.
Thank you.
This was very inspiring today to listen to you, and I liked especially what you said uh, just recently, even before compassion. Because, well, let me just say about that first. My own feeling about that and trying to come up with that one word or one thing. I always say that for myself, and it's the way I try to live my life, is to think of others first. And there you have other qualities like compassion and love, and all that goes into it. But I always think if you live your life thinking of others first before yourself, these things will all come about, especially with what we all hope to do with bless, or what we intend to do to help humanity. And say for myself, I always think about love along with that, and compassion, because my thing is my discovery, a character that I've played quite a bit over the years. I've happened to have been lucky enough to play the Tin Man, so I sort of brought that into On Passive in a way that as I discovered my heart as the Tin Man, who had a heart but didn't think he had a heart. I always try to, in fact, Dr. Bill knows this because he's one of the folks that first saw that I was coming up with this and has brought it out and mentioned it quite a few times. So I always appreciate that. But heart for humanity. And that's what I try to do as the Tin Man in On Passive. So, and then the other thing I want to say about what you were saying about the elderly. Your compassion and your feelings about the elderly community in the world, because I am soon entering the elderly community, or should I say I'm already there. So I always appreciate that, because I do feel that we are often neglected and not thought of in the way that we should be, or given the respect that we should be given. And when I hear folks like yourself, a younger person, talking that way, I truly appreciate it. And I just want to say that to you as well. So that's it. That's all I have to say. Thank you today for your words. And it was a wonderful presentation that you gave. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much. I know you'll be leaving soon, and if we don't see you, would have left. So, Dr. Bill, would you like to comment tonight on our guest speaker?
Jumbo.
Jumbo.
Salamama Rifki. Asante Sana. Lerato.
I speak Sutu. Asante Sana is, I think Asante Sana is Kiswahili. Kiswahili, right? Yeah.
Thank you so much for bringing all this great message to us. You're a ball of energy. You know, you're a presence that we relish as being part of our On Passive greatness. It's good to hear your words. I'm glad everybody that's never been in your presence got to hear you fully today. You know, you took center stage today. You were not an accessory to the play. You were the main star today. And we enjoy hearing your story. You were one of the people early on who made a stamp on Passive. You know, the singing voice was obviously the first place you showed up, but I think behind the scene, you bring much more than just a voice. The compassion that you spoke of, you know, you have a deep heart, and we need people on Passive who lead from the front, which you do. I've often thought that there were people who went out into the wilderness, the scouts, the trappers who went out, who learned about the land. They came back and reported, and they became the scouts for the parties of pioneers that went out across the wilderness. And then they became the wagon masters, the ones who carried the bulk of the people to the promised land, to the west. If you were talking about like in the U.S. back in the 1800, 1700, the wagon master was the one who assembled the group and led the group. And so I see that you perform that particular position on Passive is you take and you lead and you bring people to a new place. You expose people to a new vision of capability, of possibility.
Yeah.
You struck out on your own as a young lady and created a place for yourself in a new land. And I think that's a real value, that we can all look up to you and say, hey, if she did it, I can do it. You know, you're a role model. Now I gotta take one part of your concept of talking about the elderly. You know who the elderly are? It's all of them. It's not us, John. It's not us. We're not the elderly. Mabel, we're not the elderly. It's them. It's those people older than us.
Okay.
When we are 95 years old, we will not be elderly in our minds. It'll be them who are older than us. You know, I've never felt elderly, but I'll bet you there are people in this audience who think I'm an elder.
You look good, Dr. Bill. I know you look good at 73, 74.
Mm-hmm. I just think elder is a term of respect, mostly.
Respect, exactly.
It's not an age. And you can be old and foolish, or you can be old and wise. It all depends on your mindset.
Yeah.
You know, the Bible says that wisdom starts with fear of the Lord.
Of God, yeah.
Amen.
And other people in different societies, Socrates, Aristotle, and Confucius said it was other things, but it was not fear of the Lord. It was knowing yourself. Well, there's different philosophies out there about what is wise, what is wisdom, and who has it. But the elderly certainly have an opportunity with experience to be more wise. So serving the elderly means, to me, serving the people that are frail and older and need help. But the elderly can also be served by listening to them, so that their experience is passed on to the next generation. And so that's one of the keys to the youth, is to listen to the elders to find the wisdom.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Lerato, for being here, and asante sana.
Thank you. Thank you. Karibu. Thank you.
Exactly. The Bible says that we have a lifespan of 120. So until you reach 120, you're not an elderly. We're still very young.
There you go.
Amen. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So after Dr. Bill, can I ask Jeffrey? After Jeffrey, can I ask Sister Debbie? Thank you for being here and for referring, encouraging, bridging Lerato to come to our platform. So Jeffrey, would you like to comment something tonight about passion of Lerato? And Debbie after that. Jeffrey Monk.
Wow. Where on earth do you start after that? Girl, I tell you, Lerato, if I was there, I'd give you a nice big hug, because I tell you, you hit some things today that were just absolutely phenomenal. I mean, thank you so very, very. I agree with Dr. Williams. You have got some exquisite energy, and your exuberance is just—it's so attractive on you. You wear it well. We're grateful that you're a part of On Passive. Thank you, Mabel, for inviting me to just speak a little bit, and for the work that you do through this platform. I think Lerato touched on a lot of things, but a recurring theme was that of choice. And to me, she seems to illustrate for us through her life, and this morning through her words, that we all have an ability to make a conscious decision to enjoy and experience the fullness of life with a high frequency, rather than choosing to place focus on choices that are perhaps not as good for us, and certainly less exciting and less enjoyable, right? Choices that maybe don't represent our following our passions. Passions being those things that excite us and make us feel good when we do them, or even in their pursuit of them, right? Because from them come passion, compassion, and compassionate action. So, I mean, she did a lot of stuff, talking about that sort of thing, and talking about what she does. And she talks about enjoyment as well. Her word, I think the word you used, Lerato, was savor. I savor these things, which talks about a fulfilling enjoyment, which translates very nicely for us as the word gratitude, where she's expressing, in the savoring of the things that I do and the experiences that I have, I am so thankful that I'm able to do these things and to be where I am at the time that I'm here. and that while I'm here, I'm conscious of being here and in being able to enjoy everything. So, you know, when she speaks of that, the idea, you know, is that we really are all connected to all things. And when we place others before self, which includes everything in nature, right? Everything within all that is, then we're more able to live a life that's fully engaged in doing what's right simply because it's right. And through that, thereby, right, reaching for our own growth in a way, our own transcendence toward unconditional love, right, which is towards God, from whom we draw our being. I mean, and this is just some of the stuff. There's so much that you said, Lerato, that people can go back and listen to time and time again and draw those nuggets of wisdom out, you know, and you weren't coming across like some wisdomic, prophetic, whatever. I mean, you're just speaking from life, and that is the best thing that you could have done. And I love it, and I will be listening to that more than once, I'm sure. So thank you for bringing this to us, and thank you, Mabel, for just letting me talk a little bit about that wonderful treasure that we have with Lerato. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you, Jeffrey. We'll get Debbie. After Debbie, can I get Brother Vital Smart to also say something? Vital Smart, thank you. Debbie, thank you, Debbie, for connecting us with Lerato. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Mabel. As always, you're doing an outstanding job. Sissy, so good to see you. Oh my goodness. Oh, just for those of you who did not say her name properly, I am the master who keeps track of who does not say Lerato properly, because you owe her lunch.
Come to Singapore.
I keep a spreadsheet. You don't say her name properly. When the apples start falling, you'll be taking her lunch for each time the name is not said properly. Thank you so much. It's just an honor listening to you speak today about your passion, and this is the right forum to do so. And all I'm asking, and I pray, is that that compassion and love that you have for each and every one, when you have that elderly home, I want to be in that elderly home so I can hear the angelic voices, because I enjoy dancing. I love dancing to our African music, especially the sound that comes from Southern Africa is so unique compared to the other regions of the continent. My experience from living in Lesotho, I couldn't listen to the music there enough. And the Sesotho music sounds exactly like yours. I spent so much time dancing to it. Sometimes I dance out of rhythm because I was dancing with something else in mind. And I'm so glad that you have that gift from God in music, because when that home, your elderly home, please make space for me. And our elderlies, those they call it elderly. And it is what you just said resonates so much with all of us who come from the continent. If you do not have an elderly person around you, the village takes care of you. And there's no way of disrespecting an elderly person, whether they are related to you or not. As long as you see an elderly person by themselves struggling, whether you have or you don't, you support that person. You cannot walk past without giving them a helping hand. This is not something that can be taught in schools or has a handbook. No, you grew up that way, and they lead you to the right path. You see your friend's auntie, you take care of them, because time will come when they will be the one to uplift you. And that's where we are right now in our own passage journey. We are uplifting one another's whatever situation in which they are, one way or the other. And I must say, last night I listened to In It to Win It so many times. Thank you so much. That In It to Win It is the core of every webinar I go to, and it has really inspired us. Each time I listen to the words, the lyrics, they remind me of why I joined Unpassed. And listening to you speak with that unique voice, is an added blessing. Thank you so much for being part of Unpassive. Thank you so much for being part of our lives. And I now know that when I do go to South Africa or Germany, I'll look you up. Thank you.
Yeah, many of us. Thank you, Sister Debbie. So after Vidal, Brother Vidal Smart, I would like Patricia Tava, if you are around, can hear me. Maybe you can say something too, Patricia Tava. So Brother Vidal, thank you. Welcome. Unmute, unmute. You are muted, huh? You are muted. Can we unmute you? You are muted. Okay. Maybe refresh. If you refresh, you get back the button. Are you back? Maybe while we wait for him, Patricia Tava, if you are around, we would like to hear from you, dear sister. If not, is he back?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Patricia, yes. Patricia Tava is from Malaysia. Welcome. Thank you. Oh, where is she? We lost her. Oh, I think we lost her. She'll be back. Vidal will be back. And maybe we can get Dr. Benny. Please say something. So we have Vidal, Patricia, and Dr. Benny. If you can unmute. We have very, very precious leaders here, people to share with us, and we want to hear from them. While these names refresh themselves and come back in, maybe I can get, is Raj around? Raj, would you like to unmute? After that, Dr. Bhagat, would like to hear from you. Thank you for coming in. Raj, would you like to unmute and say something? Raj, oh, can you hear me, Faith? Okay. Raj, you can't hear me. You need to unmute if you want to speak, Raj. Oh, everybody cannot unmute themselves. Dr. Bhagat, can you unmute and say something?
Yes, sure.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sister. Very good evening and good morning, everyone here today. And thank you for giving me the chance to speak here. A few lines regarding today's webinar. And for the persons whom I have not met, for them I would like to introduce myself. I am Dr. L.D. Bhagat from Jammu and Kashmir, India. After serving 34 years of service in Jammu and Kashmir Health Services, now I am retired for the last 3 years. And coming directly to our today's topic regarding the passion. As you know, the doctors have only one passion, to serve the humanity. And that is the biggest mission. And I have been in the same mission for 34 years. And after my retirement, I was just searching that what should I do after my retirement. And just after 6 months, I got on passive. I'm thankful, I'm grateful to God and Mr. Ash for this such a unique and massive opportunity that we can do wonders here. And I have again renewed my passion by increasing its boundaries and the limitless scope of internet and on passive. And I have planned to serve the humanity in a bigger way without boundaries. And for that, I have just planned that where from I should start. First of all, I have started the process for creating a trust where I will share my contribution from my earnings and from Oblast and create a trust where I will start adopting some children, poor children for education and take responsibilities of their education. That will be my first beginning here. And then next, I will go to help those people in the medical treatment by directly financing them in their emergencies and those who cannot afford the operations, as we know that the treatment is very costly these days. And India is a developing country and there is a shortage of money and many lives are lost without treatment in the remotest corners of our country. And it will be a chance to serve the humanity by reaching up to those people who are in sufferings and they should be helped by the government as well as new organizations, whether they may be governmental or non-governmental, and I will be helping them through my trust. And thirdly, with the same trust, I am going to help the elderly peoples, and I am thankful for the inspirational thoughts of Lerato Shadare. Sorry for pronunciation if I am wrong, because she is the person who is having a caring and loving heart. She has a melodious voice, and we have been listening to her for the last 2 years in OSU. And we are thankful for her musical voice that we often listen whenever we get time, and in our webinars we start with the songs here. So thank you for your beautiful voice and your words and today's your vision that has enlightened us to increase our potential, increase our efforts, and be the empathetic persons that help the humanity. I have 2 children, 1 daughter and 1 son. My son is a software engineer and my daughter is a dentistry graduate. She is interested in music. She sings. She has posted on this YouTube also. And she is an animal lover. She has adopted some cats and helps the organization those are serving the animal life here. And she has the potential to serve in the animal saving of the animal life. And I want that the mission I am carrying through on passive, it will be transmitted to my children and they will continue the mission. And I am thankful to God that we all, wherever we are on this globe, we are one family and we have one mission, one vision, and helping each other to grow and also encouraging each other to grow and know each other well as a family and family members and make this planet to live a better place, make it happen, and every one of us together can do it. I'm thankful to all of you, our great persons here on this platform today, and we will be doing wonders under the guidance of Mr. Ash, and we are grateful to him. We will be always great to him, and all those legendary persons who have been contributing to this platform. Thank you so much, and out to you.
Thank you, Bhagat. Can we open up? I think some of us cannot unmute, and Vidal is back. Vidal, can you unmute and share? If you can. He says he is back. Vidal, can you unmute? You don't have to be co-host to speak unless you are in the attendees list. Okay, Abdi, I see your hand. Welcome. You share while I look for Vidal.
Yeah, thank you, Mabel. Thank you, everyone. Hello, beautiful leaders. It's great to be back. I miss you guys. I miss you. I haven't been here for a long time. I miss this Singapore, Malaysia webinar. It's about 1:30 a.m. in down under here in Australia, Melbourne. That was, I used to work on night shift. That was able me to come on your time, but since I went to day shift, I'm always in bed. So tonight is a little bit different. I'm here, and I was really happy to see when Dr. Bill posted the link on the group chat. So I was looking forward to come here. Great to see you here. Hello, Dr. Bill. Hello, Jeffrey. Beautiful leaders, good faces. Yes, just I miss Sister Loreta's presentation and expression on passive, but you know, we all know her, who she is, and her contribution to on passive with her beautiful song. With her beautiful song is many sides of from Sweden. I think that. Thank you. Yeah, her contribution to On Passive with her vocal artistic song is amazing. It touches many parts of what On Passive represents. Indeed, you know, the heart of our CEO, the On Passivian is a willingness to replicate his idea, and through her voice and everything, it's just that little touch that obviously not there. So she really have that little, you know, what was remaining on the percentage to be 100%, and we appreciate her being part of this. And other than that, it's beautiful day. It's beautiful on Pacific Day. I just came here to say hello. We all know it's exciting time where we are today and tomorrow, and every day is getting better. And we're all looking forward to, you know, do what we're supposed to do, basically on the aspect of, you know, all place, as well as, you know, many parts of the world. We know what's happening. We're not in a good shape and globally. So we are here basically to take that torch that our CEO given to us and really replicate his idea of impacting others and enabling others, and you know, and do what we can do for humanity. So it's good to see you here. Good to see you, Brother Kumaran, everyone here, Sister Debbie, everyone. I love you.
Wonderful. Okay, again, the platform is open to anyone who would like to share. Kumaran, you have something to share, or you want to be the last speaker?
Yeah.
As usual. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Raj, are you able to unmute? Okay, and share something?
Yes. Yes. Can you hear me? Oh my
yes,
goodness.
yes.
Wow. Well, thank you so much.
After Raj, maybe we can have Sister Julie to share. Okay, Raj, go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sister, inviting me. Wow. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The galaxy of intellectual. What a session. Wow. It was hair raging, electrifying, substantial, and awesome. Fantastic. I loved seeing the presentation she expressed about her passion. It was really mind blowing. She talked about the love, the compassion. Love is just like ocean, and passion is just like about an ocean, my dear friends. And she talked about on passive. She's living on passive with the fullest potential. I want to say that on passive is a gateway of new world. What amazing future is coming on the way, my dear friends. It is gateway of happiness, love, affection, generosity, and to build a world. It is a gateway of unparalleled success in your life. This is done deal. What a what a fabulous session we witnessed. What a great sharing, Dr. Bill Williams, mastermind. Mr. Jeffrey Morlock, sir, what a branding personality. Each and Mr. John Barilla, sir, each and every one. That were really Mr. Dr. L.D. Vegas. Wow. That's a tremendous sharing. Wow. I want to say that, my dear friends, on past is all about to build a world, refurbish, repaint the world, and we are in the right direction. We just enjoy the great breakthrough which is coming on the way. This is the first time happening in the world. Any company giving the fully financial finance, complete financial freedom. This is first time happening in the era, my dear friends. This is truly on passive era has begun, and 2024 it is going to be massive, robust, and paradigm shift in your life. Wow, that's the amazing moment. Just feel it. What a big bang. Wow, it is explosive, just like a supernova explosion. And on passive, it's giving. She talk about energy. Yes, when just see musician, okay, music is just like a soul of our life. And in some Veda, I want to say in Indian culture, there is some Veda, okay, they beautifully explaining about music. That's marvelous, and that's a tremendous. That's a tremendous. And on passive is just like orchestra of your life. Are you ready to enjoy top class, lavish, luxurious, stupendous life? Yes. Oblast, I have a oblast, which is my heart. I want to serve. I am a lecturer. I want to create. Even I am creating. I spark millions and billions of spark in our kids through enjoy, academy, connect, and my dear, skill. These are going to be game changer. How to bring tremendous development in the nurturing in the education sector of the planet, my dear friends, especially the kids. And I want to quote the remark of our CEO. He said that any child from any corner of the planet is going to get top class education. That's a massive journey. Just enjoy each moment. And you are going to be top class celebrity, a big hero, global hero. Stardom is coming on the way. Are you ready to enjoy? But we have to be. She talk about highest level of decency, sublime character, dedication, devotion, and integrity. This is a real character upon passive. And finally, I want to say that you are champion, unbreakable character. Believe on passive. On passive is a complete lifestyle, my dear friends. Wow, that's fabulous. And I witness. I'm very lucky to be part of this wonderful and terrific international webinar because you are rocking and ready to enjoy rule over the internet. That's a stimulating moment. Wow.
Thank you.
That's unmatchable, unparalleled. Okay. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
sister. Giving us
Thank
such
you,
wonderful
Brother Raj.
opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. Raj is leading the Bharat International and doing a very good job. So anyone else, if they can unmute, Vidal, I see you. Can you unmute and say something now? If not, the floor is open for a few more minutes before we close. And usually before we close, Lerato, the speaker of the night will summarize and say something before we close the meeting. So before we do that, anybody else? Julie Pierre, Dr. Benny, anybody else? Patricia went out, can't come in. Okay. Anybody else really? Take the floor. Tonight is the night. Take the floor. Yoga, sorry. If you want to say something, we just wait another minute for hands to be raised. And meanwhile, Kumaran, looking good, Kumaran. with your spectacles and bald-headed, Mr. Kumaran. Say something, Kumaran, to your girlfriend.
Mabel,
Yeah.
my computer is very shy, so
Your
I have to use another. Because of Lerato, my computer is very shy. He never let me to on my video, but I have to use my phone, and the
Oh,
phone is my twin brother, Kumaran Ajong Wen.
is it?
Okay,
Horrible.
so so okay, how to see? Is Lerato open a video? Oh my God, it's closing. Okay, never mind. Let her hear. I think the song "In It to Win It," okay, is like a mantra. Like for us in Hindu, we have so many mantras, but for on passive, the song "In It to Win It" is like a mantra where it brings so much positive energy. So so I think I spend more time with this song because once in 1 week, almost deep dive twice and dream team. That is already 3 times a week. Then when I go and prepare the intro, I think I spend more time with this song compared to I spend time talking to my wife. Right? So 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 and the only thing I want to say, what recall me when talk about this song. Let me share the screen. Okay.
Kumaran.
Yeah, I'm sharing. Am I sharing the screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. This song bring back to me during my, about this scientist, Emoto, a very famous scientist who use this water with the positive words. So when talk about this song, you need to win it. Oh my God! I'm sure the water crystal become like this, and is a really powerful song. So that's what I want to say. Thank you, Lerato. It's like a dream you came to our webinar in Singapore. Thank you on behalf of all my friends in Singapore. Thank you.
Thank you, Kumaran. Thank you. Yes. Let's put back to gallery. So is Julie around? If not, okay. We will end with Lerato, Sister Lerato, for you to summarize. But before that, I just want to thank you, Sister Lerato, for gracing our meeting today and sharing your passion, living life to the fullest. I really love what you have said, that with all the apples coming, as we are all expecting, hoping, and see what we can do with the apples. Actually, what you said touched me. Money is not going to solve anything if we ourselves, our mindset is not shifted, not changed, not ready to do something beneficial with the apples. So I think this is one aspect that open up many of our minds. Apples is not going to solve anything if we ourselves are not ready to make an impact to change the world. So that's why I think Passion is here to nurture mindset leadership to change the world. Bless, Passion, and of course, On Passive is the master of everything. I also like what you say. If you are crying, is either where you are crying now or in a Ferrari, you are still crying. So let's stop the crying and start start the laughter, start impacting and savoring life. And I also love what you said, you know, which I think many people who have not found their passion or where they want to devote their passion or time, I think what you have said, Lerato, also touched me, is to be touching lives wherever you go. And if you love traveling, everywhere we go, we are that powerhouse. We are that hand, that leg, that hug, that smile, and touching lives. So I think really tonight is another game changer in terms of where our minds can go with on passive. So anybody else want to say something, share something before I ask Sister Lerato to help us close the evening with any final words from her message of passion? I see a hand raised up. Amal? Yes, unmute. And we give you a minute.
Yes, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to take it. Thank you very much, Sister Mabel, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you all, lovely speakers, and finally, thank you, lovely Sister Loretta. From what she said, I love it. I enjoy it so much. By the meaning of what she said, that she enjoyed everything wherever she was. It's meaning that she feels that she is apart from the whole, and the whole is apart from her. This is so wholly connected relationship between you and the others. Because by way we are connected, and by way we are connected to our universe. When she said she enjoyed her moment in the kitchen with her loves, with animals, wherever she was. This is life. Life is just a moment. Life is just a moment. When live this moment, you take your life forever. And every moment, it is a new life, a new birth in your life. She is awareness about this point. It is a critical thinking in her mind. I love it, I love it, I love it. And she, by meaning what she said, you can understand. You don't meet the people by accident. And anything in your life, even a tree, even animal, even anything, we have to respect, because there is always a reason or a lesson or a blessing. And by meaning what she said, that to prepare ourselves for apples and to be ready for that, we should be ready mentally before physically. And when your mentally is in a good and a positive side, make sure that you are physically in a good and positive side. That we are searching, or we need leaders, not fall in love with money. We need leaders fall in love with justice. Not we need leaders fall in love in the publicity. We need leaders just fall in love the humanity. Thank you very much, Mabel. Thank you. Hello?
Yes. Thank you, Amal.
Yes,
Sister
thank you.
Lerato, we have Brother Vidal Smart having a question for you, if you can hear me clearly. Brother Vidal Smart asks you, what kind of an impact or influence did Mariam Makaba have on your singing career?
I mean, Mama Miriam Makeba is such a legend. And she was not only a singer, but also she was an activist. She was about, she was in the apartheid era. I don't know if you know about the history of South Africa. I'm sorry, but my camera is not stable because I'm trying to charge my device, so it's not sitting proper. Sorry.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. So Miss Miriam Makeba was also an activist, and she was her music was more political than anything, and it was about equality, fighting for what is right. That every human being matters. We all have a space here. There's no reason why other people should feel like they have more entitlement to life than others. So, and the message was, we are all here to have our human experience. We are all here. The space is big enough for all of us to express ourselves. There shouldn't be any oppression. So her impact started from there. Like I said, mindset that every human being matters. We are here, we matter. We're all here to have a life experience. Let us do that and respectfully respect one another and give each other a chance to grow and love. And everybody deserves life. Everybody deserves good. Everybody deserves everything that pertains to just living our lives well. So why are other people more entitled than the others? It's not true. So she was, pushing against the system that says that other people don't matter, pushing against the system that says that other people are less than, right? So that education already, just empowering your mind to know that I don't care where you come from. I don't care who says what, you matter. You matter. You matter. All of us matter, right? So her impact started from there. And apart from her singing voice and the beautiful songs that she wrote, the spirit behind the songs and the mentality behind the songs is that we all matter. Life deserves to be lived, and by everyone. So that's how she impacted me.
Wow. Vidal, I'm sure you heard that. Okay, he just clapped. And okay. Dr. Benny, would you like to say something before Sister Loretta help us close the meeting with her summary? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Greetings. This is me, right?
Yes.
It shows that I'm unique. Yes. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I will say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all my queens and kings around the globe. I respect you all, and I want to take this special moment first to thank somebody who is very important to me. I don't know if the person is important to you all, but he is someone that created all of us in his image. And despite the fact that I don't see him, and I know you guys don't see him either, but he is watching over all of us. He is my creator, my heavenly father, Jehovah. Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Nisi, Jehovah Rapha, Jehovah El Shaddai, Jehovah Shammah, Eldone Elohim Teskenu Jum Kadesh. Anyway, what he did is that he sent somebody to you and I that a lot of people, they don't, I don't know if they really respect that individual, but he is our visionary. And despite the fact that, to me, maybe you guys believe differently, I just believe that Passive is owned by Jehovah God, but he chose somebody to take over. And that particular individual accepted his callings. He is our visionary. Maybe, like I said, you guys may be thinking differently. And his name is Mr. Ash MUFAREH. Whenever I call his name, I smile. I just want you and I to continue to please pray for him. There are a lot of challenges that he is facing, but he likes it anyway. That's what he says. But I want all of us to pray for him, because I don't know if there's any individual that will accept the callings and say his main aim is to help humanity. There's no other person. That is why we have to keep fighting and pray for him, his entire dream team, our COO, Brother Kamal, or even though somebody said I should not say brother, Mr. Kamal, Mohammed Kamal, Mr. Mohammed Nazel, Professor Susan, our tech brothers and sisters, we need to continue to pray for them. That is the fact. And please, Mr. Chris Johnson fell down yesterday. So I want all of us to please pray for him. We want him to come back to all of us. And those who are sick, we pray that they should become stronger, because this 2024 has changed. It's going to change our lives. A lot of people, do you guys know that despite the fact that we have started paying our activation fees, some people are still saying that, why do I have to pay again after paying $100? I said, Jesus. Anyway, let me not say this. Sister Lerato, I would say astonishing presentation, or I should say extraordinary presentation when it comes to your passion and everything. I just want to say I love you, and I want to thank you for accepting our invitation. And I know that Queen Debbie goes out there and push and grab people to come here. Queen Debbie, thank you so much. Hey, look at our brother Jeffrey. Hey, brother, I love you.
Hey,
sorry,
brother Jeffrey, we love you. I love you too.
Oh, you do? Sorry. Anyway, I know that I'm here to play with you guys. I just want to say I love Unpassive with all my heart, mind, and soul. You guys know I don't sleep. I will do what it takes. My passion is to help. I don't know why God, I see but older people, 76, 77, 80 something, coming to me to help them to migrate to the ecosystem. I can't say no, right? Because they're my daddy, my elders. So I keep saying, Papa, why are you sending all those people to me? Every day they keep calling me, Dr. Benny, what's going on? I said, Jesus, Papa, just wait. So I just want to let you guys know that I love Unpassive. I will do what it takes to help those who want to still migrate to the ecosystem, because I know not everybody has. I am here if you need me. I love each and everyone. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Amen. Praise the Lord. So, Sister Lerato, please help us close with your summary for the night.
Wow. Oh, wow. So the summary, Dr. Benny said it all. Dr. Benny said everything. I love it so much. By the way, I love you guys. In case you didn't hear it today, I really, really love each and every one of you, because, you know, there's seasons where God allows so much light to come in. And Dr. Benny said it. She said that we were given somebody, Mr. Ash, to spearhead the mission and to spearhead the passion, I think, is the one that ignited all of us, because most of us were sleeping. We forgot that we have dreams. We forgot that there are things that we have to contribute to humanity in ways that we never thought that we could. And he pulled those things out of us. So those who are connected felt the calling. Those who are connected responded to the calling. And that's why we're here. We are on passion. So not everybody responds, but most of us responded and say, yes, the light is called in us to be brighter. We are called to be greater. We're called to impact humanity in ways that we never thought we could, because the world needs it. The world needs light. I don't know if you see what's happening around the world, but the world needs us. The world needs light. The world needs love. You know, so all of us that are responding to this call, kudos to you, because together we are stronger, right? If you take one light and you put it in the room, it's going to put some light. But if you put different lights and you bring the candles together and you have 100 candles, then now the light is starting to be seen all around the environment. Now you're in this environment, then you start putting more lights, 1,000 lights, 2,000 lights, 3,000 lights. There's no way that now people are not going to see it from far away. That's why I said that from the moon, they will see us, because if you're light, you cannot be dimmed. So even outside ourselves, outside where we are, when the light come together and we are moved by the same spirit of love, of compassion, you know, there's no way that our impact is not going to be felt. We are much more connected than what we think we are. We are much more powerful, more than what we think we are. And I want to tell you that if the resources and the money is in the right hands, if it's in the right hands, there's so much more that we can do. There's so much more that we can do, and the impact will be felt. It will vibrate. It will be felt. So we are needed, people. We all here are needed. We all here have a mission, and we cannot afford to sleep. So let's wake up to our greatness. Let's wake up to what we are called to do, because we all have a purpose. And when we come together, we are much, 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 much stronger.
Wow.
Thank you so much. In case somebody didn't tell you that they love you, I love you so much, and thank you for this invitation. Thank you.
Yes, that's love. Wake up to greatness. Hallelujah. Good night, everyone. It's been a wonderful today is what? 1st of February. What a way to begin February and the rest of the year. So, anyone saying anything? If not,
Today's
goodbye.
my son's birthday.
Your
My
son's birthday. Wow.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
To my
Happy
son.
birthday.
Thank
Yes.
you. Hi, Dr. Bill.
Hi, Dr. Bill, Jeffrey, and all.
Queen Faith. Brother Raj.
Hi. Happy
Brother
birthday to
Abdel.
your son.
Brother Abdil. Brother Kumaran.
Brother Vidal
Hello, Dr.
actually trying to come back many times, but he can't unmute. But he sent a message to me to ask the question about Mariam Makaba. Okay, everyone. Good night. See you next Thursday. See you next Thursday. Love you all.
Hi, Dr. Das.
Good
Bye.
night, Sister Mabel. Good night.
Brother
Good
Gary.
night.
Good journey.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Baby.
Bye,
See you all
Abdi.
around.
See you,
Hey,
Abdi. So nice to see
talk to
you.
me.
Yeah, man. How you doing?
See.
How you, man?